Hello, everyone. Welcome to this reading for Asking Spirit, what do we need to know for the 2023 worm moon cycle, which goes from February 20 to March 20. This is the moon that takes us out of winter into spring, from Pisces season to Aries season, and is said to be the worm moon because the worms are busy underground as it's still cold, preparing the soil and the seeds for all the plants to emerge at springtime. And this moon cycle ends the day before the spring equinox, which happens on March 21st this year. I was inspired to do this set of readings for every moon cycle that we have during the year after I had a pretty powerful reading with the full wolf moon using this witching hour oracle. So I've designed a reading around that, and I have a section following this to explain the layout of the reading. And then I've included also a 5-minute moon meditation if you would like to do that, either before you pick your pile or before you go into your reading, or anytime you like. It's also available as a separate video on my channel. We're going to pick 3 cards from the Spirit de la Luna oracle for the 3 piles to choose from for this reading. And after we do that, you can choose a pile and move on to your next reading. These cards, I have to be super careful. Okay, that one's flipped. We have the number 6, waxing crescent with keyword awareness, and with the air element for pile number 1. Keep shuffling for 2 more cards, please, Spirit, for this worm moon reading. Okay, we have number 32, waxing crescent for the earth element with keyword boundaries for pile number 2. Excuse me, that is waning crescent. My apologies, waning crescent. One more card, please. Yeah, thank you very much. We have 21, full moon, keyword fulfillment for the water element. This is pile number 3. The 3 piles we have to choose from for this reading are pile number 1 with waxing crescent under the air element, number 6 and keyword awareness. Pile 2 is the waning crescent under the earth element with number 32 and keyword boundaries. Pile 3 is the full moon, the water element with keyword fulfillment, and number 21. This reading is going to start with the card that drew you to the reading. In this case, I have the Moon Blessing card from the Spirit de la Luna deck. It says, Silver moon of the starry night, bless my reading with your light. As the cards unfold the wisdom they hold, I am open to receive your luminous sight. And then the rest of these cards apply to the moon cycle for the reading. So this is from the Queen of the Moon oracle, the Maiden, Mother, and Crone cards from the Witching Hour oracle, and the card for the cycle from the Spirit de la Luna oracle. Then I will shuffle and draw 6 tarot cards for you. And we'll follow up with the more Queen of the Moon oracle cards indicating the beginning of the cycle to the end of the cycle, and then 2 crystal cards for supporting information and guidance. And then in the end, I will shuffle for a Soul Helper oracle card for final blessings, guidance, information. Enjoy your reading. Hi, Pile One. Welcome to your reading for What Does Spirit Want Us to Know for the 2023 Worm Moon Cycle. We have citrine and lapis lazuli here to help us with this reading. Citrine is an energizing and clearing crystal that is said to not be able to hold on to any negative energy and bring an air of happiness into the atmosphere. Lapis lazuli is the wisdom stone that helps us see the deeper meaning within an issue. You've come to the reading with this number 6 waxing crescent card with keyword awareness under the air element. This card talks about how the waxing crescent phase of the moon cycle can be a little bit overwhelming as energy is moving and shifting. And the guidebook has really good advice for this phase of the moon cycle. It says, observe your surroundings and your interactions. Have faith in the journey. Believe in your vision. Forgive yourself and let go of the past. Stay open to new opportunities and learn to adapt. And because I use these set of cards for every reading, I know that your card just matches so well with the other cards that come through. For example, we have from the moon of the Queen of the Moon Oracle, we have number 31 with faith. So this matches the saying of have faith in your journey. This talks about having faith that the light will return as we may be growing weary about the winter dragging on. We have faith that the spring is coming, the light will return even in darkness, and you can see that she's resting on a green bed of abundance, nurturing the earth there. It also matches really well with the Maiden card for the Witching Hour Oracle, which is number 7, Explore. And this deck refers to the moon as the crow moon. You can see she has her lantern and she's going along with her crow spirit guide. And this card speaks all about discovering our inner self, exploring our surroundings and our connections with other people. Also speaks about finding our inner truth. And then as we move on to the mother phase, the full moon phase of this moon cycle, number 8, prosperity. You can see the crow has landed on a bountiful bouquet of flowers and there's bees. And here she's pregnant as well, nurturing and growing. This card speaks about taking note of the things that you consider to be prosperous in your life. So a little bit of a gratitude exercise is warranted here. What are you grateful for? This card talks about how other things that we need to remember to be grateful for, in addition to the things that bring us abundance and happiness and wealth and growth and nurturing, we also should consider the things that have come into our lives that have made our soul feel untroubled and fulfilled. So as we do some inner truth seeking and evaluating our surroundings and our connections with other people, we then take note of the things that we are grateful for that make us feel prosperous and abundant and healthy. And then we move on to the crone cycle, which would be the waning phase of the moon cycle with number 9, breaking illusions. This speaks about how this woman is looking into the pool of truth, and she's actually realized that she is the crone. You can see the woman looks a little bit older here. So this card speaks to not only breaking illusions with something in your environment and connections with other people that may have not been what they seem to be, but also about getting rid of the negative self-talk, which I thought was a really, really interesting take on breaking illusions. So this says you are just as you were made to be. There's nothing wrong with you. So whatever you're going through is part of your journey. It's intended for you to go through. There's nothing wrong. It's just something that you need to realize is about your inner truth. Your core self is something maybe you didn't think it was, or something society may have told you it should be. That doesn't necessarily have to be. So this comes in, we go from the waxing cycle of exploring and setting intentions to manifesting and taking note of what we're grateful for on the full moon, into letting go and breaking illusions in the waning phase. And then this is the card for the seed moon, which is what the Spirit de la Luna deck calls this cycle, with keyword new growth. This card agrees with everything I've said so far, and the spread that the creator of the deck offers for this card, I think, adds another layer onto this, because she identified a spread that says, the first card, what is the seed I planted? Second, what is taking root? And then the third one, what is the breakthrough I need in order to grow? So that is another interesting take on breaking illusions, with what is the breakthrough that I need to continue to move forward. This number 7 Explore card, which aligns with the waxing crescent phase, also talked about gaining the courage to move forward. And then we have this seed moon card coming out with new growth, saying that we can consider what seeds we planted, what is taking root, what is lasting and sustainable, and what is the breakthrough that we need. So not only like breaking illusions, not only letting go in the waning phase of the cycle, not only letting go of things that no longer serve us, but also thinking, what is the breakthrough that I need? What do I need to overcome in order to move forward? Just like the plants are breaking through to sprout during spring. That's what that reminds me of here. So with your card being so in alignment with the cards for the rest of the moon cycle here, I think that this is really talking about how you're aligned with the cycles of Earth. You have, the kind of Empress feel, Mother Earth feel here. So you may want to consider working with the cycles of the moon and kind of following this process here. That's recommended, exploring your inner truth, doing a gratitude exercise, and then deciding what you want to let go of and what new things can you do to move forward. Let's see what Tarot has to say. We're using the Tarot of the Dreams deck. We're going to get 6 cards, please, Spirit. I chose to use this Tarot of the Dreams deck for these readings because the creator of the deck created it as a tool for self-exploration and self-empowerment, and wanted to not only show the standard symbols of tarot and other esoteric symbols and astrology, but also wanted to set the intention that the cards would give you realizations that are like when you suddenly remember something in a dream and it all makes sense. So it's a really good deck to use for these types of readings. 6 cards, please, Spirit. For pile 1, what do we need? Okay, let's see what we're going to do with this here. We've got a whole chunk here that fell out. And they don't want to be here. But these ones do. So we'll take these in the order that they came out. First we have the 3 of Cups. Mercury and Cancer energy coming through. And the 7 of Wands with Mars and Leo energy coming through. These 2 cards are interesting coming out in the beginning, with the 3 of Cups talking about friendship and connections, and then the 7 of Wands typically talking about standing your ground in the face of obstacles and competition and adversity. So this speaks right away to me that the suggestion to evaluate your surroundings and your connections is important for you. And we also have the 6 of Cups with Sun and Virgo energy. Excuse me, pile 1, I'm sorry. It's Sun and Scorpio energy. I always confuse the Scorpio and the Virgo symbols, so I wanted to double check, and that is Scorpio coming through for us. The 6 of Cups, the guidebook for this card says, you have an intense longing, Scorpio, to feel once more the self-confidence and optimism, Sun, which you felt in the past. So you're longing for a return of feeling confident and empowered. So this is not necessarily talking about longing for past connections or past relationships, but it's talking about the nostalgic times when you felt confident and empowered, and you're longing for that. 3 more cards, please, Spirit. Okay, we have the Empress number 3. We have Virgo energy coming out. That aligns really well with the I was going to say abundance. We have that here with the prosperity card, but this one is, these women are both still pregnant. So I don't necessarily refer to that here literally. It could be. If so, congratulations. But this is the Empress coming out is supporting that whatever's growing now is going to become what you want it to be. These two ladies are pregnant, and this one has given birth. So you can see she's holding her shiny, bright, light, new baby there and is surrounded by abundance. So that's a good, positive affirmation that we're moving in the right direction. Thank you. And the Tree of Life card. Because this deck brings in Kabbalah, they've added a Tree of Life. And it doesn't necessarily talk about what it means. It's more of a reference card, but I left it in here setting the intention that if this came out, that it would be talking about the connections that we have within the universe and potentially information that is not known at the moment to us. So with that coming out here, ooh, it's fell right under breaking illusions. Yeah, so in addition to taking a look at your connections and your surroundings to decide what needs to change or remain within those in order to get back to your confident, empowered self and move to a place of abundance. What illusions, what words of negative self-talk are you using? And what breakthroughs do you need in order to move forward? And those may not be known to you right now, and they may be mysteries of the universe, so to speak, mysteries to you right now. And this is also reminding us of the different phases of life that we go through as we ascend to a higher state of vibration towards enlightenment. So this to me is highlighting that potentially some shadow work would be helpful for you here, but also some creative exercises, creative thinking exercises, because we had the one card mentioned that part of this waning phase of the moon cycle should consider what breakthroughs do I need to move forward. So we have shadow work and creative thinking exercises being recommended here with a focus on what are your connections and surroundings doing to either serve you or not serve you at the moment. Okay, one more card, please, Spirit. We have number 10, the Wheel of Fortune, with Jupiter energy coming out. That is great. That falls right behind the Tree of Life, where I talked about the cycles that we go through during life, the different phases we go through, and then the Wheel of Fortune is coming through and reminding us of that as well, and telling us that in this case, it's a really positive feeling coming from this card. The wheel can go through ups and downs, but I have a really positive feeling coming from here that you'll be able to go through this worm moon cycle and regain confidence and empowerment that maybe you feel you've lost. Overcoming adversity, evaluating your connections so that they are serving you and Yes, giving and receiving. So 6s are balance, right? I always think of a good balance of giving and receiving. And so friendships and people in your social network will be there to support you during this time. The guidebook for this card specifically says that courage and resolve are needed now. So the first phase of this cycle, it's going to be important for you to find that courage that you need to move forward. And we can do so by having faith that the light will return, the spring is coming, the darkness won't last forever. And we can start by doing some shadow work, reviewing our inner core, our relationships and connections, and our surroundings, and then do some creative thinking exercises to help us find that breakthrough that we need to move forward. And I think as you do that, you'll realize how smart and capable you truly are, and that'll help you get back to a place of self-confidence and empowerment. I want to see what these crystal cards are here. At least this one is calling to me right now. We have the Rainbow Obsidian. Hope, depth, and evolution. Within the darkness, there is always light. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Within the darkness, there's always light. Yes, that's a good reminder. No wonder I was drawn to read this now. When rainbow obsidian's dark exterior is exposed in light, colorful bands highlight the stone's beauty. It's a gentle stone showing you unhealed matters of the heart and bringing hidden wounds to the surface for ultimate healing. Yes, so we had this here reminding me of the mysteries of the universe and things that may not be known to you. And it was hinting to me that some shadow work might be required. So here we have unhealed matters of the heart and hidden wounds that need to be brought to the surface. So yes, with this 3 of Cups and 6 of Cups talking about emotional topics, some matters of the heart. It doesn't have to be love. It can also be something that spoke to your heart that maybe didn't work out in terms of something that you really wanted to do, or something that you really loved didn't work out. It doesn't have to be actual relationships with other people. Something broke your heart, and I'm sorry to hear that, but this is a confident reading telling you that the light is coming and you're moving forward. You are you are capable and able and smart enough to move forward, to get out of the darkness, and you should feel confident and empowered that you can do that. And there may be people within your support network that can help you do that. But there is, because she's holding the lantern, which reminds me of the Hermit card in tarot, there is some inner shadow work that you need to do. Review your inner truth about what is something that's not healed in your heart chakra area. Love, compassion, kindness. What did you think your life path was? What did you want to spend your life doing? What relationships still serve you or no longer serve you? Rainbow Obsidian takes you on a journey of evolution, of opening your heart and discovering your true purpose in this life. I just spoke about life path before I even read that. Able to assist in cutting cords. Rainbow Obsidian floods you with light and love, forgiving yourself and others in the process, and is tied to Libra and Saturn. This is what it looks like. It's beautiful. Let me hold that there for you if you want to screenshot it. Hope, depth, evolution. Has Libra on there, which speaks about balance as well, which matches with the Six of Cups here. Okay, these Queen of the Moon oracles, this card is intended to indicate the energy of the beginning of this moon phase for you, moon cycle for you, and this one is the end. So let's see, the beginning says, number 7, nourishment. Wow, beautiful, yes. You will be nourished during this time. A little bit of heaviness coming out here with the shadow work being recommended for you. And this is Spirit coming through. Number 7 is a divine number, divine support, divine inspiration. The ideas that you need for doing this creative thinking exercise about how to move forward will come to you. Spirit is helping. Look at the water coming down from the moon here in a waterfall. This is like a refreshing waterfall. It's not crushing anything. It's refreshing, and it's coming down from the moon. Beautiful. And it is waxing crescent, so this matches the waxing phase of the moon cycle. So Spirit will be sending you the emotional and psychic support that you need, intuitive support that you need in order to do that shadow work and creative thinking. To remember what you're grateful for, decide what illusions need to be broken, and what information you need in order to have that breakthrough to move forward. Beautiful. And towards the end of the cycle, we have release, waning crescent. Your cards are just lining up so perfectly with the way a moon cycle is said to go. You had the card here starting with waxing crescent, and everything that this card said matched what this worm moon, crow moon, seed moon cycle is all about. And then you have waning crescent with release and number 27 coming out here at the end. Wow. That is so beautiful. If you can see here, she seems to be in a state of kind of surrender with butterflies coming out, which is a symbol of transformation. And that takes me back to this faith card here that speaks about having faith that the universe is there to support you, Spirit's there to support you, and the light will return. There is always some light within the darkness, and the light will return. It won't last forever. I don't think this is saying that within the next month of this moon cycle that you are going to solve everything, and that's not to put pressure on you to solve things. This is to help you kind of set expectations, which we do during the waxing crescent phase of the moon cycle. This is telling you that as we get towards the beginning of spring, your transformation and creative thinking, creative thought is going to be flowing and abundant. We have abundance all through your reading. There's not anything about lack here. So this is a really encouraging message from Spirit that you are moving in the right direction. Yes, there may be obstacles and adversity that you face, and there is some unhealed wound that you need to look into to move forward, but you're on the right track. And anything that has shattered your confidence or feelings of self-empowerment, you're working through those, and you're going to be able to release those and move into a state of abundance and transformation. This other crystal here is lazulite, cosmic serenity, peace. The cosmic forces are at play with lazulite, bringing serenity, peace, and tranquility to anyone who crosses paths with the stone. Lazulite comes from the Arabic word lazawurd, meaning sky or heaven, and referring to the sky blue color of the stone surface. It stimulates the third eye, drawing out our psychic and intuitive abilities and dispelling worry. Yes, great. I hadn't talked about the psychic aspect of the water element until I saw this card over here with this nourishment and the water coming out from the moon. I had been thinking all about everything in the emotional realm until I saw this card, and I was called to speak about psychic information and intuition. So this is also telling you that you do have strength in those areas, and you should be confident that you're making the right decision and considering the right aspects of these topics that we've talked about so far in order to continue moving forward. Dispel worry, anxiety, and stress to promote a clear state of mind. Use lazulite when you need extra strength to heal addictive habits and to give yourself that inner peace against personal demons. So this is really helpful for shadow work. We have Sagittarius, Jupiter, and Gemini on there. And where did Jupiter come out earlier? The wheel, yes. Cosmic wheel of the universe spinning within cycles that you're going through. And you won't always be in a state of facing personal demons because you're going to get to a place where you can release those unhealed wounds and move forward. All right, Pile 1, I think everything is pretty clear so far in your reading. Let's get some final words of advice, guidance, encouragement from the Soul Helper Oracle. One card, please, Spirit. I am not getting one card at all today. I will say that this reading has given me a lot of challenges to not only set up and design and get the words out the way that I want to, but I've continued to go forward and persist through it. And it's taken a while when I was choosing the pre-selected cards for them to come out. And now that I'm actually in the reading, every single card wants to jump out at me. So I feel like that is an indication of what's going on, possibly in the collective with this moon cycle, is that things may feel stuck and stunted and like you're stuttering or sputtering to get going. I just saw the cartoon cars that kind of spit and jump before they actually take off. Once you reach a breakthrough or get to a certain point, something's coming in from spirit, from the moon here, in the psychic intuitive realm that's just going to accelerate things. And then there's going to be so much to consider. As we move into this cycle, make sure that you're taking time to get ready, because all the ideas and all the movement that you've been waiting for is going to be coming. And we need to be in a healthy, balanced, rested state in order to take advantage of that and take advantage in a good way in terms of using that momentum to continue propelling us forward and not being too tired and weary from everything that we've been through. Okay, one card, Spirit, please, for pile 1. Okay, well, we didn't get 1, but we got 2. So that's close enough to 1 for me based on how the messages wanted to come out. So the first one we have is number 11. The time is right. Seize the day and make progress on your soul path. Yes. Okay, there's an indication of timing for you. You are on the right path. And then we have number 21. Recognize despair as an opportunity. Within you Recognize despair as an opportunity. Within it, you will find the gift of awakening. These two cards are tying everything together pretty nicely, pile one, with this recognize despair as an opportunity. Within it, you will find the gift of awakening. That is encouragement for you as you consider any unhealed wounds, which is the shadow work exercise that's being recommended through this reading. Consider what unhealed wounds you have that need to be brought to the surface and released. As you're doing that, this is a reminder from Spirit. Keep the perspective that within despair, there is opportunity. You will find the gift of awakening. Once you release that unhealed wound, let me rephrase. I was just kind of checked there by Spirit or my intuition or whatever you want to call it. But instead of saying once you've released that unhealed wound, I should say once you've recognized that unhealed wound, because like I said, this isn't going to be a complete resolution of something. Once you've recognized what that unhealed wound is that you need to heal, that's the first step. Sometimes recognizing that we do have that unhealed wound inside of us is a first step that we need to take. And part of that is considered the shadow aspect of within shadow work, at least in my opinion. Recognizing what is within us that needs to be healed. And that can be either something we had the message before about forgive yourself, that may be something that you're feeling guilty for, that may be an unhealed wound, or it may be something in your circumstances and connections that happened in a situation that you couldn't control. But it happened, and it's up to you to heal from that by figuring out what connections and attitudes you have and things in your surrounding are supporting you to heal from that and move forward. Remember, this said to stop the negative self-talk, because that's an illusion that we put on ourselves, because we are actually smart and capable and able to move forward. That's coming through really strongly in your reading. So if you're feeling down about yourself right now, this is Spirit telling you that that's just an illusion, and you can get to a confident, empowered state of mind. And they're there to help you. This is just maybe a dark phase for you that you're going through, and you will come out of it, because we have the Wheel of Fortune here and the Tree of Life, all speaking to the phases of life that we go through. And within the darkness, there is always light. That's what this faith card spoke to here. And then this is saying that there's always an opportunity within feelings of despair. And I just noticed that these cards go 31, 21, 11. And the 11 card says, the time is right. Seize the day and make progress on your soul path. I think it's interesting. 11, 21, 31. Those are just, counting by tens, but starting with 11. So that's really connecting these three cards for me. And this is the time for you to make progress on your soul journey. This is beautiful. So yes, this is speaking the progress that you're going to be making is you're going to be doing some evaluation on your inner self, what are your inner truth, what are your inner core feelings and things that you care about with the Six of Cups here, and what is it that makes you feel untroubled and fulfilled, and what you are grateful for, so that you can decide what you need to let go of, especially if it is something that is actually an illusion and some kind of mental thought that we have, or some emotional heartache that caused us to doubt ourselves and then speak negatively to ourselves, move through that to a place of abundance with the Empress card here and all of this nourishment, moving to a place of release. So this is the time for you to make that progress where you can recognize and potentially overcome that unhealed wound within yourself to move forward on your journey. And remember, this is all positive indications here with prosperity, the Empress, nourishment, the Wheel of Fortune, and a good release. Cosmic serenity and peace, hope, depth, and evolution. That's really beautiful for you, Pile 1. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please let me know in the comments if you like this style. I hope to do this for every moon cycle that we'll have going forward. And I wish you the best of luck. I hope to see you again in a future reading. Thanks for spending time with me. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to this reading for asking Spirit for what do we need to know for the worm moon cycle for 2023, which goes from February 20th to March 20. In our dish here, we're using citrine and lapis lazuli crystals. Citrine is an energizing crystal that brings a joyful atmosphere to your space and also is said to not be able to hold on to negative energy. And then lapis lazuli is a wisdom stone that helps to get to the deeper meaning of any issue. The card that you chose is number 32, Waning Crescent in the Earth element with the keyword boundaries. This card, because it is tied to the Earth element, talks about how we should learn from Mother Nature and Gaia about setting healthy and useful boundaries. It mentions how mountains and streams and shorelines and beaches create boundaries that separate things into useful, productive sections, so to speak, and how we can use that in our lives to set our own boundaries. And because this is the waning crescent card for that element, it is asking us to consider what boundaries we have set and which ones we need to keep in place and maybe new ones that we need to set, or if we've already set some boundaries, which ones are ready to be released, can be opened up a little bit. Because remember, boundaries don't have to be a permanent thing. They can be for only a period of time, depending on what you're going through in your situation. So these other cards on the top row here are all tied to the worm moon cycle. And the first one we have is from the moon, Queen of the Moon Oracle, which is number 31, Faith. This card is reminding us that the worm moon happens as we move from winter into spring, and it is talking about how we may be becoming weary of as the winter drags on, but that we should always remember that there's light within the darkness and that the spring is coming. The spring will return, the light will return. And this is to have faith in the universe that that process will happen. And then we have the Maiden, Mother, and Crone cards for the phases of the moon from the Witching Hour Oracle. And this first is for the waxing phase of the moon. And it is number 7, Explore. This deck refers to this moon cycle as the Crow Moon. You can see she has her lantern there and she's going off possibly into the darkness, but she has a spirit guide with her with the crow there. And this card, in terms of exploring, is asking us to explore ourselves, our surroundings, and our connections with others. and exploring ways that we can find courage to move forward. I think this first phase of the moon cycle, which would take us up to March 7th, because the full moon happens on March 7th, would be a good time to do that review of what boundaries we have set and what it for ourselves, within our surroundings, and within our connections with other people. And then as we get into the full moon on March 7th, we have prosperity, number 8, for the mother phase of the moon cycle. You can see that the crow has landed there. Excuse me. The crow was flying here as a guide, and now it's landed on a bountiful bouquet there with bees bringing in more abundance. And this card really speaks about deciding what it is that makes us feel prosperous and abundance. It also could be a sign of good luck coming. This full moon is a good time for realizing your manifestations. And a helpful thing that the creator of this deck talks about is that when we're reviewing what we're grateful for, that we should also ask ourselves, what is it that makes my soul feel untroubled and fulfilled? Those are good questions when trying to figure out what we feel grateful for and what we should keep in our lives, because as we move into the waning phase of the moon, that's the time for letting go and releasing things that no longer serve. And in this case, the crow moon wants us to focus on breaking illusions. We have number 9. This lady is said to be looking into the pool of truth, and she sees that she's actually the crone there. And this card is asking us to not only consider what illusions are in our life right now, in terms of things that may not be what they seem to be with other people or our surroundings, but also one really neat thing about this guidebook for this card says that part of that is asking ourselves, what negative talk, negative words have we been saying that have increased self-doubt within ourselves. So it says that you were made the way you were meant to be made, and nothing is wrong with you. So it's asking you to be nice to yourself, basically, and make sure that you're getting rid of any negative self-talk that you may be putting yourself through, and turn that around into something that reminds you of the things that make you feel untroubled and fulfilled. And that's the strengths and skills and abilities that you have within yourself as well. This is the seed moon card for this cycle. The Spirit de la Luna deck refers to this as the seed moon with cycle number 1. Number 1 with the keywords new growth. You can see this is like a sunflower just sprouting its petals, but it's hosting a sprig there. And this card has, within it, the creators have made a spread for this moon cycle. And it has 3 cards. And the first card says, what have I planted? Or what am I going to plant? The second is, what is taking root? And the third is, what is the breakthrough that I need? So that would be, what is, the plant is finally at the point where it's going to break through the ground and keep growing. And I thought that tied in really nicely with this breaking illusions card. So not only consider breaking illusions by getting rid of those things that are actually not true, making sure you have a complete understanding of the situation as it actually is, not as it may seem or as others want to make it seem, but also, like, we've set our intentions, right, in the beginning of the moon phase and possibly manifested. And then this is, what is the breakthrough that we need to keep moving forward, as then the moon cycle starts over again. And with the moon cycle starting over again, of course, it'll be a different moon, but this waning waxing phase of the moon card with Explore here also talks about what do you need to do to get the courage to move forward. And that would be to continue moving forward and growing and developing in the way that you want. This breakthrough with this card, having this spread with the third card asking us what breakthrough do we need, I think that's an interesting tie back to your boundaries card here, because you've come to the reading with the boundaries keyword. I think it is also asking us to consider what boundaries have been set against us that possibly we can break through. That's an honest review of the obstacles that we're facing. So let's move into tarot now to see if we can get some good information there about what Spirit wants us to know for this moon cycle, but also paying attention to the idea of boundaries and what we've already talked about and what the different perspectives on boundaries can bring to us. We're going to take 6 cards to fill in that middle section of the reading here. So 6 cards, please, Spirit. There we go. We got one finally that wanted to flip over. It took quite a while. And it's the Tower card, number 16. With Mars energy. This is a really interesting Tower card because that's a really stable palace there. And what's coming down is a ray of light highlighting the stable palace and just a ribbon of electricity coming through. It doesn't even look like lightning that is on some of the Tower cards. So this is almost like that energizing energy coming in, the electricity coming in, kind of sizzling and sparkling and leaving little sparks of inspiration as it comes through and highlights the stable foundation that we already have. This is interesting Tower card here. I don't get from this that it's the traditional Tower meaning that talks about unexpected, life-changing, disruptive change. It's almost like an illumination of something that will spark some idea or creation to add on to what we already have going for us. Let's see if we can get some more tarot cards coming out here. I've been kind of shy this time. Okay, we're going to leave these here. We're going to see what these crystals have to say because tarot is taking a little bit of time here. So this first crystal we have is lepidocrocite with keywords open heart, grounded and teacher. Practical and methodical, lepidocrocite approaches spirituality in a tangible way. Grounding practices. Wow, grounding. Yeah, like in the electricity, you have to have something grounded so that you don't get electrocuted. So that's interesting coming out with the way that Tower card looks there. Grounding practices back to earth while staying connected to source energy. A great crystal for teachers or anyone who wishes to pass down spiritual teachings. Lepidocrocite values tradition and educates without judgment. sharing wisdom for humanity's highest good. Lepidocrocite helps with committing to your life's purpose, staying focused on the task at hand, and taking action in order to make progress. Each day you are one step closer to your dreams. And we have Sagittarius and Earth energy coming through here, so a good match with the card that brought you here. So this is really helping me understand the context of the Tower card within your reading here, talking about grounding practices to Earth, yet staying connected to Source. That's really well depicted within this Tower card here. So this also talks about your abilities to be a teacher. So if you are a teacher, keep going, you're doing well, and Spirit appreciates what you're doing. If you're considering getting into teaching in the spiritual realm, this is a little nod of confidence from Spirit that you should do that and help educate without judgment, it says specifically. Educate without judgment and share wisdom for humanity's highest good. And it helps with committing to your life purpose and staying focused on the task at hand. So with that, staying focused here, commit to your life purpose and commit to the tasks at hand, which would, if we already have a really good understanding of what our life purpose is and where we want to go, that would be another thing to reinforce at the full moon. Maybe be grateful for having found something that speaks to you so strongly that you want it to be your life purpose and you believe it's your life purpose, and help manifest things at the full moon that will continue to serve that life purpose. And if you haven't discovered what you believe is your life purpose, this Explore card is asking us to do some inner reflection on what we believe are our core truths, and a review of the situations and connections that we have in our life that serve that or don't serve that. And then get ready to release those during the waning moon phase of the cycle with this breaking illusions. I don't think it's a complete dump of the things that aren't serving you, but preparing yourself to start going into a letting go phase of the things that are no longer serving you. It could be an abrupt change because we have the Tower card here, and although it's giving me a different energy than the traditional Tower card meaning, I don't want to discount that it could still, for some people, be something quick and disruptive, but I think it's not going to be negative either way. This is all a positive feeling coming from this card. There we go. We got two flipping over. The moon, perfect. Number 18 with Pisces energy there. Got a wolf for sure, and then what looks like maybe a German Shepherd dog and some bats. And a nice waterfall coming down here. This is a mirror or some kind of portal as well. Yeah, so a portal to finding your life purpose. Some kind of change and transformation coming through related to our life purpose, so that it's illuminated, and then we go through the steps that were outlined earlier for helping us gain a better understanding of what that is. And then we have the Page of Cups, a messenger about new psychic or emotional information coming in. Potentially a new person entering. With the mention of teacher on here, the page would be more of the student. So we have a student-teacher aspect here, potentially asking yourself what role you play as a student and what role you play as a teacher. And are there people that you could be a mentor to? Are there people that could be mentors for you. That goes back to exploring and understanding the connections that we have. Let's see what we got going here. All right. The King of Swords just was like, boom, I'm here. So let's see what we have. I'm not sure about, yeah, and Judgment wants to come out right there. So we were just talking about the steps involved with this inner exploration, what we're grateful for, and what illusions we need to break and release, and what other breakthroughs we need to continue growing. And this Judgment card came out here, which ties me back to this educating humanity and sharing wisdom for humanity's highest good. So that's really highlighting for me what this Lepidocrosite card mentioned. And again, that's what it looked like. So fire energy coming through there with that red. Also root chakra with the grounding, the mention of grounding there. And then the King of Swords coming out here. This is the actualization of mental capability, mental ability, decision making, clear decision making and communication. I think that this reading is telling you that this King of Swords is telling you this is a strength of yours. And if you're not there yet where you feel like you have a really good grasp on communicating and clear thinking, then that's something to work on. That's a goal to set to get to that point, because you will be able to get to that point according to this reading, and then share that wisdom that you gain with other people for the highest good of humanity. And with the Moon card there, part of that is breaking through the illusions that may not be representing the situation ourselves or connections in the true way that they actually are. And then with this waterfall coming down, that's the emotional, psychic, intuition aspect of the moon coming down to open our heart and help us be grounded. Be grounded, practical, and methodical, yet stay connected to source energy. Yeah, that's really good imagery in this Tower card, because this is a stable, grounded palace with just a spark of electricity coming through to keep it moving, keep it creative, keep it thinking, keep it motivated. Yeah, that's really good. So we had two other ones that flipped over. I'm going to keep them both. One was the Ace of Swords. So that's that new idea, that spark of inspiration. That's going to go here with the Tower card. That's reinforcing that it wants us to take that from this Tower card, not the disruptive change aspect of the Tower card. Oh, wow, and the King of Cups. So two kings coming out here. You are strong and capable, and you are well on your way to being mentally and emotionally capable and stable to the point where you can be a teacher to others to help them get to that point. This is a reinforcement that you have that within you. And if you're not currently experiencing it, it's goals to set. That's really, really beautiful. Two kings coming out here. We have two dog or canines on here. A wolf and a dog is what that looks like to me. And we have two kings coming out here. So this is possibly talking about a partnership that will be helpful for you in terms of like that student-teacher partnership, for sharing wisdom that brings goodness to humanity. That is also indicated on this Judgment card here, where we have the two columns coming forward here, and then a bright spiritual angel figure there. A partnership leading to enlightenment that is serving the humanity in a good, positive way. I take from that either a partnership with other people, like I mentioned, but also because it's the Kings of Swords and Cups, it's a partnership between your head and your heart, your mental and emotional activity. Yeah, get that in balance between your head and your heart. That's a focus area for you right there. Internally, review the balance of your head and heart, and then externally, review the partnerships that you have or could have in your life. Let's see this other crystal here. No, okay, we'll do these cards then. These two cards here are also from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and this was intended to indicate kind of the energy at the beginning of the cycle for you and then towards the end. So the beginning we have waxing crescent number 6, but 8 up here with the path. Yes, that's great for the beginning, waxing phase. The path, we had that talk of life purpose. 8 and 8 is very much a prosperous, successful, abundant number. So this is speaking more also about your life purpose there, and how you've either found that path that's going to lead to your life purpose and keep going. Remember, we had that nod that you're on the right path and keep going and moving forward. If you haven't found your life path, this is telling you it's coming soon, that you will find something, some kind of spark or inspiration that's going to come through, that's going to help you more understand what could be your life purpose. And I'm saying life purpose, but really I mean, at this point in time, because I do believe that people can come into life with more than one purpose. It's not the one thing that you need to find. I don't want to put that pressure on you to find that one thing, because a life purpose can be multiple things. And sometimes recognizing that it could be multiple things is very enlightening in and of itself, because then you don't have to keep searching for the one thing, because you realize that there's a multitude of things that you're sent here to do. And that is something that leads to being untroubled and fulfilled. When I came to that realization that there was more than one thing that I was sent here to do, it was a huge relief, and definitely something that made my soul feel untroubled. So I encourage you to remember that as well when we're talking about life purpose. And then at the end of the cycle, we have will. Waxing gibbous number 4 with number 13 reduces to 4. That's a stable number. Will. Yes, you have the determination and willpower to do it. So at the beginning of this worm moon cycle, we're going to be getting information or confirmation about our life purpose and our life path. And then as we move in towards the end, as spring is coming, and we will have the will and determination to continue moving forward and fulfill that life purpose. Let's see this. There we go. Now it's letting me flip it. We have calcite. Amplify, cleanse, and open. Another open. This one said open heart, and we just have open. Uh-oh, it says double trouble. Calcite has a unique optical quality. When you are looking through the stone, it appears doubled. Calcite can amplify energy for higher awareness and healing, pairing well with other crystals and taking on the attributes to increase their metaphysical abilities. A powerful dissolver. Calcite transforms negative energy for release and renewal. It also aligns the chakras, cleansing the aura of toxicity and renewing energy flow. Calcite reminds you that there is always a new beginning. You just have to decide when to start. With Cancer and Venus energy coming through there. We have the mention of calcite creating optical illusions where you're seeing double. So automatically I'm thinking two things from that. One is a tie back, especially where it's falling in this reading, a tie back to reviewing the illusions that you have that may not be actually representing the truth of a situation or a person or yourself. And then the second one is double trouble, two kings, two dogs, a partnership, a balance with another person that leads to the higher good of humanity, or a balance between head and heart, mental and emotional situations. Okay, pile 2, let's get you some final guidance, information that we may have missed, final closing words from Spirit. We're using the Soul Helper Oracle. These two cards, this one's red and this one's white, and on the that's what this card is here. So again, this was lepidocrosite. It doesn't sound like a very common mineral or crystal, but potentially you can find some of that. But also what it's reminding me of is not only the connection between emotional and mental activity, but this action, fire energy coming through, creativity, inspiration, which can be mental and emotional, right? But this is reminding me of a marriage, so to speak, between the fire element and the air element. And then we had you coming to a reading that had the earth element. So staying grounded, but keeping that energy of fire and air so that you're moving and creating and being inspired and motivated and sharing that with other people. Yes. Okay. We get one final card, please, Spirit, for pile 2. There we go. Wow. And it's the actual card from the deck. So when that happens, when the imagery looks like the back of the deck, to me that means it's the core of what that deck is trying to portray. And in this case, it's the Soul Helper Oracle. So this is telling you that Spirit is there to help you, and you can also help yourself. But also look at this. Success and happiness are coming. Enjoy and celebrate life. That's awesome. Number 36 on there reduces to 9, which is kind of a fulfillment of a cycle before you get to the 10, which would then be getting ready to move into another cycle. So success and happiness are coming. Enjoy and celebrate life. So yes, this is because we had that same energy. That's the core of something. This is speaking back to your life purpose. Whether you've found it and you just want to figure out how to expand upon that, or whether you're still searching for it and you're so close to finding it, success and happiness are coming. Enjoy and celebrate life. So remember to take time to enjoy things. Enjoy life. Enjoy the new growth that's coming. Be thankful for the winter that gave us this time of reflection, and look forward to the spring where things are starting to grow and the new energy is coming back. The bees are coming out, making things abundant and energized. So there you go, pile 2. Success and happiness are coming. I'm so happy for you. I am going to end your reading here. I hope it was helpful for you, and I hope to see you again in a future reading. Hi, pile 3. Welcome to your reading for Asking Spirit, what do we need to know for this 2023 worm moon cycle? Goes from February 20 to March 20 this year, ending with the spring equinox. We have lapis lazuli and citrine in our dish. Lapis lazuli is a wisdom stone that helps us get to the deeper meaning of an issue. And then citrine is an energizing, negative forces repelling energy stone, and also brings a joyful atmosphere to your space. It's said to not hang on to any negative energies. That's what I was trying to say with that repelling negative forces. You've come to the reading with number 21 card, full moon, in the water element with keyword fulfillment. So This is a really positive card. And in the guidebook, it talks about two things. It talks about, the first thing is your desires and your wishes, your hopes and dreams. Like it says to embrace what you've done to accomplish those desires, hopes, and dreams. And if you have not yet accomplished them, embrace the steps that you've taken so far to move towards them. And then the second thing it talks about is embracing your magic. You're a magical person. You're a magical energy being. And this is reminding us of the energy and magic that the moon brings to our lives. And it gives a hint of reality, caution, if you will, that says it doesn't last forever. So, the full moon is only a couple days out of the cycle. In this case, it'll be on March 7th. Message in the guidebook was to make sure that we're recognizing opportunities that come up when they do and taking the steps that we need to take at the time we need to take them before those opportunities move on. I don't want this to be like rushing you into making decisions or anything like that. I wanted to just mention that caution because it was said in the guidebook, but for the most part, it's a focus on fulfilling hopes, dreams, and desires for this moon cycle. These next cards here are all about the warm moon phase cycle. And the first one we have is from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and it's number 31 with faith. This card asks us to remember that universe and spirit are there to help us. And in this case, the focus for you is the magic that the moon can bring us. It reminds us that as we move from winter into spring, that's a reminder that the darkness doesn't last forever. The light will emerge, and there's always a little bit of light within the darkness. These next three cards are from the Witching Hour Oracle, and they have the waxing phase, the full moon phase, and the waning phase, or the maiden, mother, crone. So for the waxing phase of this moon cycle, and this oracle refers to this moon cycle as the crow moon. We have the keyword explore and number 7. So you see she's got her lantern there and she's being guided by a crow and she's exploring. You can see these whirls of light going through the darkness here. She's exploring light and dark, how they flow together. And this card speaks about exploring the truths behind your inner core, your situation and surroundings, and your connections with other people. Then the full moon card for this speaks about prosperity. It's number 8. You can see the crow has landed on this bountiful bouquet of flowers with a bee there, indicating fertility and abundance. I've used this card in the previous 2 readings, but I just noticed the honeycomb pattern there behind the moon. I didn't notice that in the first 2 readings. So that's an interesting observation coming out in your reading when we're talking about remember the magic of the moon. Because there's a little bit of, there's a lot of structure within a honeycomb and a beehive, right? So not only do you have that hexagon honeycomb pattern that's well structured and makes a nice orderly hive, but you have the different bees within there with the queen bee and the worker bee and the drone bees, and they all have a different purpose and they're happy to be serving their different purposes. And what they're doing then is spreading abundance as they move from flower to flower and pollinating and then making honey. It's a really awesome cycle that the bees are involved in. And that is coming through here. It's magical how they communicate with each other and use the energy of the earth to navigate and find their way home, find their way to new food. It's really amazing. So bees, I think, are coming through really strongly here for you. Maybe kind of a spirit guide for you. And also indicating everything that we kind of talked about before, that I can go down a huge rabbit hole talking about bees and how that ties back into the universe and structure and everything's connected, and the reciprocal cycle of giving and receiving with pollinating and then producing honey, etc. I'm going to try not to do that. Really want to, but I'm going to try not to do that so we can stay focused on your reading. But that's coming through super strong right now. I also use this natural beeswax candle here. It's honey scented, and that smell is really, really powerful right now. But not in a overpowering way. It's just nice and sweet because I've had this candle going for the whole time I've been working here, and it's just really filling the room with a nice, sweet honey smell, drawing my attention back to the bees on this card and the word fulfillment here. Okay, focus and keep going. For the waning phase of this moon cycle, the Crow Moon, this card is number 9 with keyword breaking illusions. And this woman is said to be staring into the pool of truth and realizing that she's the crone. So this card speaks about not only breaking illusions about situations, other people, and ourselves that may not be what they appear to be, or we've been kind of ignoring the truth behind something, but something really neat within this card. It also talks about getting rid of the negative self-talk that is just an illusion. This card speaks about not feeling bad about who you actually are. There's nothing wrong with you. You were made the way you were for a reason, and you are just as you were meant to be. And as we go through the different cycles of life, sometimes it always doesn't feel like that, especially when we go through challenging situations. Like, is this really what I was put here to do, to go through this challenging situation? But possibly, right? I mean, we can't control everything. Sometimes things happen with other people and we get put into situations we weren't really meant to be in. But that's where this comes in, where we take an honest look and review of ourselves, our connections with other people, and our situations to make sure that it's not an illusion that is not serving us, and that it's maybe something that needs to be broken and released. So with this Spirit de la Luna Oracle, they refer to this moon cycle as the seed moon. It's number 1 on there with the keywords new growth. And you've got a sunflower pattern there with a nice green, healthy sprout coming out of it. What I think is really helpful from the card in the guidebook for this card is the spread that they recommend. It's 3 cards. So the first card is talking about what seeds am I planting, or what has been planted. The second card is what's taking root, because this full moon is talking about taking a look at what we have in our lives that we're grateful for, and what has fulfilled our soul and made our soul feel untroubled. That's a really interesting aspect of this card. What makes me feel untroubled? It may not be making me super happy and joyful, but it's taking worry away from me, and that's something to be grateful for. So first card was what seeds have been planted, or am I planting? What is taking root? And then the third one talks about what breakthrough do I need? So like the third part where that seed is finally ready to grow and break through the ground, that's what this card is talking about for the third card of the recommended spread, where that plant is breaking through the ground, breaking through some kind of obstacle that it was facing with the ground there, and ready to grow and flourish. That word flourish is important for you because it made me look at this keyword fulfillment over here. So let's see what the tarot has to say. We're going to take 6 cards from this Tarot of the Dreams deck. The creator of this deck created it to be a tool for self-exploration and empowerment, but also wanted to create those moments when you remember a dream and then it all makes sense. So for me, that speaks to fulfillment there. And take 6 cards, please, Spirit. The cards have been really wanting to be shuffled really well for everything I've done in setting up this reading. And then, oh, there we go. Okay, these ones want to come out. It just reminds me of taking that time to really make sure that when we do move forward, that it's the thing that speaks to our core, to our heart, to our mind, our third eye intuition, and not rush into things. So the first card that we had coming out, we have the 8 of Wands. Oh my gosh, and it's in reverse. I'm laughing because I was just talking about not rushing into things in the 8 of Wands, which is about speed and moving forward rapidly, came out in reverse. Yeah, take our time here. Not rushing into anything. Not rushing into anything here. And then we've got the Devil card coming out. Number 15 reduces to 6, indicating those illusions. Yeah, let's put it here. Ooh, and it matches this crystal card here. The illusions and things that seek to control us. Look at this. This figure here is in a cage, but the cage door is wide open. If this figure just opened their eyes, unwrapped their arms, outstretched their arms, they would be free. Yeah, there's scary, challenging things going on in the background, but it is not stopping this figure. So part of this card, the 7 Explore for the waxing moon phase of this cycle, talked about doing what it takes to find the courage to move forward. So with this Devil card coming out and that figure in the cage there with such a wide open door, sometimes in the Devil card it's hard to see the way out, but in this case that door is wide open. We just got to go through it. Find the courage to go through it. That's what this card is wanting us to know. What Spirit is wanting us to know through this card. And then we had Temperance, number 14, coming out. Yeah, balance and thoughtful, moving forward, being methodical and pragmatic. I am just going to cover this real quick for a little bit of modesty there. And look at her. She is balancing a ring of water and a ring of fire. And it's swirling in a rainbow around her with a full moon in the background. That is so cool. This rainbow here speaks to me of the different chakras, not focusing on one over the other. Had a lot of kind of fire energy coming out here, and this is with the wands and the Devil card and then these red crystals here. But this is reminding us that we have other energy centers to focus on, other elements. Your full moon card is the water element, emotions, psychic energy, psychic capabilities, intuition. Balance that with action and the desire to move forward. And then we had the Ten of Swords coming out with Sun and Gemini energy on there. The Ten of Swords, an end of a cycle that has been heartbreaking or mentally stressful. Again, we have the artist depicting this figure curled up in the fetal position, hiding their face from the world. That's interesting. Time to be seen. Fulfill a dream, fulfill a desire, fulfill a hope, a wish. To be seen, to be heard. This speaks to me about authenticity, to be seen and heard for who you truly are, and for people to understand you when you speak and when you do things, for people to understand the true meaning and motivation behind those actions and words and thoughts. Internally would be your thoughts, right? To truly understand. This is encouraging us to get to that authentic understanding of our inner self so that we can keep what makes us feel fulfilled and makes us feel untroubled, and then get rid of those things that don't serve us so that we can find that breakthrough to keep moving forward into the next cycle. The 10 is an end of a cycle. Okay, and the other card that came out in that clump that fell out is the Moon, number 18. Look at that, falling right under the full moon there. Yes, this is fulfillment. The moon can speak a lot about illusions and the way it reflects on things at night can make things look different than they do in the day. So to me, that speaks about different perspectives, but also that during the day when the sun is shining, we have the sun come out here with the 10 of Swords. When the sun is shining on something, it's really illuminated and bright and clear. And then when the moon is shining on it, it could be a little hazy, weird reflections on it, shrouded in darkness. So this is really speaking to this illusions card here. And with these two canines here, it looks like a wolf and a German Shepherd to me, coming out right in front of the Devil card. It's reminding me of the hellhounds that guard the gate to hell. I know that there's 3 of those, but to me, these are spirit guides coming through for you, not really keeping you in. They're to keep you from going back into that cage. These 2 spirit guides, we're really coming through here, reminding us to not go back into that cage of illusion. They've opened the door for us. They want us to come out, and they don't want us going back in. I'm not going to elaborate on that here because I think that's going to mean something different to everybody watching this video. And I'm just going to leave that message right there. Yeah, I'm getting chills. So that's like, yes, do that. So again, these are the 2 strong spirit guides guarding the gates of hell so that you don't go back into this cage of illusion that are holding you back. They want you coming out of that. They've opened the door for you and they want you coming out of it, and they don't want you going back in, and they're there to help you. Okay, one more card, please, Tarot. There you go. We've got the 7 of Swords in reverse. This is what it would look like upright. This talks about trickery, sometimes thievery. We've got Moon and Aquarius energy there. This person has taken 5 swords but left 2 on the wall there. Look at their outfit. It's stars and moons. Could be a sunburst. I mean, suns are stars, but... And it's in reverse. So that's overcoming trickery, thievery, There's one reader, Luna, on YouTube. She's wonderful. I wish I had her energy most of the time. I just couldn't handle that much energy. If you check on my channel, in my channels section, I'm subscribed to her channel. You can find her there. But she hates, I don't want to say hate. She mentioned in one of her readings that this is the worst card in tarot for her because it reminds her of people that would stab her in the back or stab us in the back and not have true intentions for the greater good. So that's really coming through, especially because she's so high energy and we have all this fire energy coming through. So check out her channel. I'm not connected to her promoting, I am promoting her because I love her channel, but I'm not connected to her. Like, she didn't ask me to say that or anything. I just was reminded she's super helpful reader who gives great readings. Check her out. Check out my channels where I have my subscriptions. She's listed in there. So this is adding to the message here. Spirit guides keeping you out of the cage of illusion so that you don't fall back into situations where you're being tricked or deceived or stolen from, I guess, with the thievery aspect. But this is keeping you away from things that don't serve you in a more general sense. So because these illusions that are keeping you caged do not serve you. They may seem like they do with these two bright, shiny swords here, especially with the way the card came out, they're upright. There's just enough to maybe want you to stay in that situation, but for true fulfillment, you need to break away from that illusion. That's pretty clear coming through there. All right, let's see what these crystals are. This first one here is Morganite. Keywords: acceptance, compassion, release. The ultimate love attractor. Interesting. Love didn't super come out in this reading yet. Morganite opens channels for positivity, affection, and devotion to flow effortlessly through your energetic fields. Is able to uncover deep emotional pain. 10 of Swords. Bringing awareness to unexpressed feelings residing inside your body so you can release them. Know that these feelings can change and are not part of your identity. Yeah, those feelings, those hurtful, unexpressed feelings that you may have inside, that's something for you to focus on here with the breaking illusions. It's not part of your identity. It's an illusion. Clearing away thoughts of martyrdom or victimhood. Morganite expands your ability to love and receive love, advancing your soul to the core of its inner truth. Yes, this is all about what the waxing phase of this moon cycle says, is to explore our inner truths and find the courage to move forward to fulfill our hopes and dreams. And this card is really confirming that. Libra and Venus energy on there. And again, that's what it looked like. And the second crystal that we have waiting for us here is carnelian. Courage, motivation, endurance. Yes, courage. They're asking you to find the courage to open that door. This is super strong in this reading, pile 3. If you don't take anything else from this reading, Spirit is opening a door for you, and they want you to find the courage to move through it. Powerful and bold, carnelian increases confidence in yourself, especially when you need to take center stage and use your voice effectively. A stabilizing stone, carnelian helps balance, temperance, volatile emotions for long-term vitality. Believed to protect the soul in the afterlife, carnelian is a stone of the living, meant to motivate you to take chances with the life that you have. Life is meant to be lived with passion and desire, and carnelian gives you the courage to do so. Carpe diem, seize the day. Taurus, Cancer, Leo, Scorpio, Sun. On this card, it says carnelian is the stone of living, meant to motivate you to take chances with the life that you have. Yes. So this is really reinforcing that message that Spirit is opening a door for you. That's wonderful. It wants you to get the courage to live your life and go through that door that they're opening for you. That's a really positive message. So definitely some inner reflection about your inner core truths, about your honest wants, desires, dreams, and hopes is warranted here. Let's hope that we get a little bit of information on how to do that, because that can be really difficult. Opening your eyes and stretching out your arms and going through this door can be very difficult and challenging, especially if what you're in right now feels safe and secure. That this, if excuse me, if we don't consider this devil energy here in the evil sense, if you do feel like you're in your comfort zone right now, this is Spirit saying that there's a lot of profound energy out there for you. And if you come out of that comfort zone, this is what's waiting for you. And that can be really scary to step out, especially if things feel stable. We talked before about there's just enough there to keep you happy, make you feel like this is the situation you should be in. Spirit is letting you know that there is more out there, and it's very profound. We had this card that drew you here talking about remembering your magic, remembering the magic that the moon brings to us. So this is some kind of call to something more profound, a deeper spiritual meaning, a deeper spiritual life. It's almost a call to move forward on that. These two cards here, they're both from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. They're intended to indicate the energy at the beginning of this worm moon phase cycle and the end of the cycle. So the first card that we have is Boundaries. Number 12 reduces to 3. Look at this. Let me get this. Yeah, I just finished talking about comfort zone, right? So this card here with the devil, it's more the obvious situation that you need to get out of. And then here is Spirit coming through, reinforcing what I just said about comfort zone. Because look at this lady. She's in a bubble, right? But she looks happy and serene and peaceful. She doesn't look trapped. Yeah, she's in the fetal position, but this is more your comfort zone. And you've got a butterfly that looks like it's trying to break that bubble. The butterfly of transformation trying to break that bubble. And she's looking at it like in a hopeful, peaceful way. So maybe she wants it. But that's scary, stepping out of that. This is Spirit acknowledging that they understand what you're going through. And remember, we have the 8 of Wands here reversed and Temperance. So this is not Spirit rushing you to figure this out by the end of this moon cycle. This is Spirit acknowledging they understand your situation. They're there for you. They're letting you know what's out there for you. But there's time. We had the mention from this card here saying that opportunities don't last forever. And now that this is coming out saying there's time, don't rush. I'm tied back to how there's a full moon. This year there's 13 full moons. So that opportunity, the moon moves in phases and cycles. And if we're not ready to jump on that opportunity during this time, the time that we're in right now, then we know that that timing will come around again. So okay. So that card where I was talking about things don't last forever, that's the fear and illusion that we need to make sure that we remember when we're tempted to move too fast for what we're ready for, when we're tempted to not balance things and move forward. Wow, okay, this just brought some It's tempering my the sure, forceful way that I was saying Spirit wants you to move forward, right? This is tempering it. It's saying, yes, that's out there for you. We want you to do that, but don't rush into it. The opportunity is something that comes and goes around, and maybe getting in tune with the moon cycles is helpful. Remember the magic of the moon. I think if you're at that point where you're just like, all right, I've had enough and I'm coming out of that door and I'm ready and I'm moving, Spirit is there for you. If you're not ready, Spirit is also there for you. This is really tempering the speed at which you move forward on something. And I think it's because it's a general reading, because different people are going to be hearing this for different situations. So that's why we're getting that tempering there. So take whichever one resonates most with you. If you're ready to go and you've just needed that nod of encouragement to find that confidence and courage to move forward, Spirit's saying go. If you're not quite ready and you need to do that inner work and you want to kind of wait until the next opportunity timing cycle comes around, Spirit says that's okay for you too. It's two different things speaking to different people in this reading. I don't think this is Spirit trying to make your decision or your life more complicated than it already is. This is speaking to different people, different viewers. Okay, so we had boundaries and that comfort zone message here, the beginning of the cycle. Let's see for the end of the cycle. Resistance with number 25 reduces to 7. That's a powerful symbol for anybody resisting oppression. Look at that. Resist the oppression of illusions that are being created by society, by yourself, by the situations you're in. Resist those illusions and grasp that abundance. Look at how tightly she's holding that abundance. She's got it. Nourishment, birds flying. We have a eagle or a hawk, a hummingbird, and then I don't know what this bird is, but this is Spirit reminding us of birds as spirit messengers. We've got ladybugs on here, which are signs of luck and encouragement. Yeah, resist falling back into those illusions that are holding you back, that aren't serving you. Okay, let's take one more card. We're going to get one card from the Soul Helper Oracle for final guidance, information that maybe we missed earlier in the reading, final words of encouragement, whatever Spirit wants to come through here. Final card, please, for pile 3, Spirit. Whoa, too many. Wants another good shuffle. That's not a good shuffle. There we go. Okay, one final card, please. That card really jumped and then didn't come back out. That's like the person taking a step and then, nope, not ready. Taking a step, not ready. So that's just reminding us that this is Spirit telling us when we're ready. It's not forcing you into action, but it's telling you if you're ready and you just needed to hear it to go. Okay, we had number 34 fallout, reduces to 7. 7 here. Oh my gosh, and look. 1, 2, 3, 4. A progression of steps. And I read somewhere, I can't remember, I'm sorry where I read it, but when you see 12:34 on the clock, it's a reminder from Spirit that you're on the right path. Keep going. So that may be a message for you when you see 12:34 or progression of numbers occurring naturally with 1, 2, 3, 4. This card says you are unique. Be brave, a little crazy, but be yourself. Yeah, be brave, but be yourself. With a little bit of crazy in there. We all need to be a little crazy, have a little crazy in ourselves. So this really is coming through, reminding us with that 1, 2, 3, 4, you're moving in the right direction. Spirit is there for you with supporting your hopes and dreams. And be brave, find the courage, but be yourself. Don't rush into things. Spirit isn't forcing you to take action, even though it may feel like this is the only opportunity that you have. More will come around. So pile 3, I'm going to end your reading here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I have for sure. And thank you for spending time with me. I hope to see you again in a future reading.